All right, so I have no idea what this video's... I don't have any idea exactly how long this video is. I don't even know what this video is really about.
Could be 3 days. Who
This
knows?
is... Well, all right, so we're going to start... All right, so... Mixing this song, Rely On. We're back on this song. There's no mix on it. Everything is zeroed out or... muted, other than the master chain and a couple things on the vocal. So I'm going to go over kind of what so we in life we go down paths, and sometimes we go down deep, and then we like find there's a problem, and it's like, okay, so now what do? I have to be able to back out of this thing, right? So in setting up this new setup, the new gain staging, the new headroom, the whole setup, and mixing this song, I just ran out of space. I overcooked the mix, and that's the truth. And when I realized that I had done something wrong, and I started on a journey of going, all right, what did I do wrong? Where am I at here? And I realized, my first thought was, I think that my gain staging is off. And so I get on the horn, that's the phone in California, LA music terms. I get on the horn with Dave Tuff, who used to be your professor at Belmont.
Yeah, he was my academic advisor my first year.
Really?
There. Yeah, my very first year, he's my academic advisor.
Did he advise you to come hang out with me?
No, that was completely separate.
Okay,
That
all
was
right.
just more of a coincidence.
A coinky dink.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, so he starts telling me about this whole -18 is 0 VUs. I start experimenting with what he's saying, and I start going on the web, and I'm watching a lot of videos. People that talk smack about YouTube, I think YouTube is cool, man.
People talk smack about YouTube?
Somebody.
Huh.
Anyway, I think YouTube's cool, and I've learned
YouTube.
a lot from YouTube. But anyway, I'm watching all these different tutorials and getting the gain staging happening, and basically the concept being is that you want to, the most of the plugins optimal range where they work most efficiently or where they sound the best or whatever is when they're hit at about -18. I was hitting, so what was happening with me was, like, let's say here's my make sure I got my kicks. Here's my kick sub. So these 4 kick samples are coming to this sub, and these samples are like down to here. They're just buried, and they're still hitting this too hot. The other thing too, to do all this, you have to be in pre-fader metering. You got to see the deal. But so what I did was, I ended up getting this plugin. This is a free plugin called Blue Cat Audio Gain, and you can group them. You can connect them and group them. It's a very cool thing. So anyway, but it's neither here nor there. If it's neither here nor there, where is it? Anyway, that's my dad used to say.
Elsewhere?
My dad used to say, you want to know why you're not here? Because you're not all there. Something like that. My dad had a funny sense of humor. In a militant kind of sense of humor way. But anyway, but that's it. So now these 4 here are hitting the kick sub at -18. This is huge. This is huge. The entire session is set up like that. Okay? Seems like a lot of work. It's really not. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. If you got all the tracks as like consolidated, you could just clip gain. You could use the trim knob. But But because of, I guess the resolution is better on the faders if they're not buried to the bottom. So anyway, I've set the session up for the most part like that. And you'll see like all these kicks are coming to here, and they are coming in at minus 18. Let's shut off all the parallel compression. Right, so if you come here and you look, yeah, minus 18. And this I look more at the peak because all it is a peak. I've learned a lot about this plugin. This is a cool plugin, this WLM, this loudness meter, waves loudness meter. There you go. So now it's optimal as far as like when it hits the EQ or the channel. This one has a little bit on it. A couple of them have a little bit. Most of them have nothing. Got a limiter on there, that's nothing right now. But anyway, so, and I did it down the line with the snare. I even did it with the snare trigger. So here's trigger, and then after the trigger, I set this minus 14 so that it hits these different plugins here at whatever minus 18 ballpark, right? I tried putting the gain before trigger and it didn't work so good. Trigger was like, it didn't like it. So did the whole thing. The other thing I started to do, so I started to watch, there's a video produced like a pro, the Warren Hewitt guy. He's got like a 7-hour video. Have you watched any of that?
I'm gonna start tonight.
Okay. I watched the entire thing. That was like, wow. That's like a whole educational experience. The other thing I learned from that video is he's a great guitar player. That's him playing guitar. Yeah, he's a songwriter on it too, but he's got a cool, like, he's British, so he plays guitar in like more of a sound parts kind of way, where I feel like me being an American, I play more in like a performance player kind of way. Like his playing sounds more like when you hear like Queen or Radiohead, or, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, anyway, but it was very inspiring, and it's I think by being influenced by him, it's going to not only help my production and mixing, but I think it's going to enhance my guitar playing in the studio, because he's just a cool dude. And he's just a cool dude. So learned a lot from that video. See, I'm losing my track here because there is a lot I kind of want to talk about. Anyway, this is the setup. So the way he did the mix was he first got everything kind of set up, you know, gain staging wise, and then he just did a level mix, and he mixes kind of with nothing on the master fader. So here's my master fader. I got a bunch of stuff on there that's really mostly doing little to nothing, but this is no master fader.
I've been lonely too. Couldn't fall for you till now.
So he started there and was kind of like looking through each part as he went down the line. Very cool. And I'm kind of confused a little bit now because I've been watching this other video that's 7 hours long with a dude. I think I have it right here. It's called Mixing a Song from Scratch. Full live mix, Musician on a Mission is the name of the YouTube. He's got a little bit more of a nuts and bolts thing going on. He's cool though. Wait a second. David S. 5 times. Did he call me 5 times? Yikes. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of mixing metaphors here. I'm not 100% sure where I'm at with all this as far as who did what, but this is what I'm learning. So this is the mix with nothing on it for the most part. There's just a little bit on, so there's no mix. All this stuff is zeroed. Yeah, there's maybe a little bit. I don't know.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you.
I'm mixing at a lower volume, and I've been working back and forth between the Jennies and the NS10s.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Rely on the times that I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I gave you.
Yes, so the concept being, at my loudest point, I'm hitting the master bus at about -18. Like, and the thing is, so you do a lot of mix setup here, so this is important that you start to understand this. It's a little bit of a challenge, but you get all your main tracks to hit their buses at about -18, then level everything to hit the master at about -18. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then the chain that I have on here is, I've got the tape machine first. I've got the SSL bus compressor second. Then I've got the massive passive on there with very light, like nothing, just a little bit, but it sounds cool. And then I've got the Mag EQ. This is on 0. There's nothing on this. This is just there. And then I've got this BX Brainworks EQ, which you'll see I've changed. This is now called Lugo Light Wide. I'm not sure if I like this thing. Let's do this. Let's break this down. Just bear with me. I kind of don't know exactly what we're doing here, so we're learning as we go. I'm going to go down the line. So this is, again, nothing on the master.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Rely on I've been lonely too. Couldn't fall for you till now. Rely. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now.
Much less sound than what I've been firing up on this bus.
Yeah.
Like way less, and we can adjust things. So now we've got tape machine on, and you guys can see this, right? Obviously it's going to take a little effort for you guys to look, but and SSL bus compressor.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. I've been lonely too. I couldn't. I've been lonely too. I've been lonely too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nothing crazy. Now, at the end of this, we've got this Brainworks thing, which I had this thing set up. It imparted too much tone. I've been messing with this thing for a couple of days, it's not really my scene, like this kind of stuff, but I'm getting better at it and I understand it. But it's doing this widening thing and a little like kind of mid-side EQ. So here is without the Brainworks, and then I'll bring it in.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now.
That's cool. The way it was set was not cool. Like, so here's, let me just make sure I save these the way they are. Yeah. So here's the original setting, is this.
I've been lonely too. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you.
That's nice. That's nice. Lugo light wide. And then you can obviously adjust it on the fly, but so there's like basically the master bus. And what's still on there is there's two things that are on there. One is the Mag EQ, which is bypassed right now, and it's set to 0. This is kind of your air thing, and this is a great EQ, but I want to first get a mix going, right? And then at the end, I've got a Pro Q that this is now in multi-mono, because if you do it in stereo, it kills the widening of this, but in multi-mono, it doesn't. And, you know, for what I've been doing, like, I'm really learning, and I want to get better at this, and I've been analyzing, like, all the EQs and levels and compression, and, you know, so it's good. And it'll probably be a thing, like, if I didn't put anything on the Pro QL, I could probably just take it off before I bounce. But, you know, if there was something that was just bugging me I could fix right here, then I could do that. But anyway, there you go. So there's the master bus. Is when I got done mixing this like about a week and a half ago, the mix it was overwhelming. The mix was just the whole mix was overwhelmed. It was overwhelming to hear, and when I started to fix this, I was like, oh my god. And I went back and I listened to a bunch of old mixes, and they sound fine. I don't think I ever overcooked anything to the extent that I overcooked this.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, anything worth doing is worth
overdoing.
Right. So I overcooked it. But now we're good. So now this is with the chain on, no limiter. going back between the Genelecs and the NS10s. I've never really been. I've had NS10s for 20 years, and I've just kind of half not used them ever. And now I'm using them, and I'm getting. It's starting to make sense.
Surprised you haven't sold them and rebought them.
I have. Are you kidding me? There's pictures from my studio. Well, okay, no, yeah, I've had these about. I think I've had these about 7 or 8 years. I think I got these in Raleigh. Well, I don't know. But this same setup is in my studio from 15 years ago. Yeah. Genelec 1031s, NS10s, and it's a totally different set of both of them.
Yeah.
It's funny. And I'm using that Yamaha, whatever that PM 2002 power amp.
Yeah. Well, did you get new Genelecs after those ones blew up on you like last year? Or are these the same ones?
No, it was just the one. Oh yeah, no, I got. Remember, they sent me a new driver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a brand new driver. Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit of an ordeal.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. The other thing I did was. The other thing I'm doing is I'm mixing with all this stuff here now. I'm getting used to it. You know, watching all these guys mix, I'm like, all right, I can do this. So what I had done was I had all these guitar tracks. Look at this, because we were experimenting, and you can see it up here. Scum 57, Marsh 57, Scum 421, Marsh 421. It's a Scumback cabinet and a Marshall cabinet. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange thing, but I bounced them all down like a month ago when I started messing with this thing, and the bounce just was not happening. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? Just take your time. I pulled them out. So now I've got all this. We may split some of it out. I did this like the night before last. Yeah. If you're in large mode and you right click here, you set it for sample peak, you can see the peak. Mm-hmm. It's like minus 20, minus 19. So I'm learning. Going on, right? So it's showing minus 16, mm-hmm. which is it's minus 18. The BX shred spread is adding like 2 dBs of gain.
Yeah, because
of the widening and whatever. It's just adding.
Is the bus compressor adding anything?
No, not really.
Yeah.
No. But it's mostly that BX. Yeah. So I'm not worried about it. You know, so I know that. Now coming out of this, I'm at minus 16. So then if I do my master bus setup here, this would be with everything on. Hitting this at about minus 16. Is right around where we want to be. And then if you come here and you open this is my reference VU, okay, which I'm not going to play my reference tracks because I don't want
copyright strike.
Yeah, I don't want aggravation. Right, so here's Boulevard of Broken Dreams in the chorus, I guess. I don't know if it probably is. So this here is the Boulevard of Broken Dreams meter, and here is our meter after the L2 and the Pro L, the fat.
That I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I give you, you wash your tears.
So yeah, the master on the Green Day was taking that down as far as -6, which could really be more like -7 because when you bounce it down to 16-bit, it gets louder.
Yeah.
Thanks to Harold LaRue. He told me that. And then if you bounce it down to MP3, it gets even louder, which seems illogical. You would think, I don't know what you'd think, but...
I guess it's the compression ratios and something.
Something.
I don't know if that...
So anyway, needless to say, this is now in an appropriate place. And I've not been known for being appropriate. We'll mute those.
That I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I give you.
So this is going to be the way to set these mixes up, right? Make sure, obviously you always save as, then you make sure your I.O. is right, and then you clean up any junk. And I guess, too, if we get sessions in from people and, like, the tracks are ridiculously loud and we get everything, like, you could do this in a sense with clip gain. So if you had everything at, like, if you got a session in as just like consolidated tracks, kick, snare, overs, guitars, bass, whatever, you could just kind of eyeball it, and then you could just do the meter. Yeah. You just put a meter across everything, or you can just right click on it when it's going, and it'll tell you, you right click on the right side. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the.
That I held you, I told you.
That right number will show you kind of your approximate levels. And then you would just want everything to somewhat be around -18. Maybe I'll leave it a little lower, maybe -16 if you're going to take like 4 sources and put it into a bus, because then you would want to hit the bus at about -18. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just can't be like what I was doing previously, which was slamming. And to be honest with you, that was the way people viewed Pro Tools 15 years ago. The common talk was that you had to record at like 80% so you got the full 24-bit. Now with the new converters and the new Pro Tools and the computers and the this and the that and the hoot and the nanny, that's not the case. We're probably going to start recording at a little bit lower level. Basically, they're saying, kill that.
That I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I give you, will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always.
All right, so I don't really know where to go with this. Like, do we start working on some of this mix? Maybe we'll make this into like a 2 or 3 part thing. But
yeah,
the thing that's weird about it is that, like, I've already gone through this and I kind of hit the wall, and I've backed out and had to rethink things. And in the act of rethinking it, I've like changed the way I think also, or like all of a sudden I'm like, all right, wait a second, because I'm like, sometimes I'm like a resistant, stubborn person. You know what I mean? I can just, hold on, man, hold on. It's like, I know it's a bad idea, but I know if I just keep on this bad idea, eventually it will turn into a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, you know.
You know that's definition of insanity.
What? What?
Trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
On a completely different note. All right. So I joined Overeaters Anonymous. I am 24 days abstinent. You know, I lost 100 pounds 6 years ago, and I've kept it off for the most part. It's fluctuated up 10 or 15 pounds, but 10 or 20 pounds. But keeping it off while white knuckling it has just, it's run its course. So anyway, 24 days, I have not eaten at night. That's one of my main abstinences. I used to get up in the middle of the night and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or kettle chips, or a handful of cashews, or, you know, I would just go into whatever leftovers were in the house, and lasagna, or, you know, whatever, cold pizza. It didn't make a difference, just food. I haven't eaten after dinner for 24 straight days. I haven't eaten between meals. So that's the whole abstinence thing. It's 3 meals with 2 optional snacks. And now we're trying to push it where I try to do like 2 hours between food. So no grazing. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Oh, because that's, you know, the whole, you know, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is kind of a 12-step jargon. All right. Being a record producer can be an extremely unhealthy thing if you choose it. If you choose to be unhealthy, there's a lot of opportunity to be unhealthy. Yeah. You're indoors and there's a refrigerator.
Yeah.
And you're sitting and you're chasing like other people's dreams half the time. Very easy to get caught up in negativity. But me, I'm on the right path. I got my health in order. And yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with all that. 6 years ago, I was dying. I was 300 pounds and I was bedridden. Isn't it weird to think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I was so sick.
When I met you, weren't you about 250, 260?
Right, I had just moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, about 260.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 275 on August 1st, 2015. And I had been in bed for about 11 weeks with pneumonia and chest pains, high blood pressure, hypoglycemic. I kept feeling like I was going to fall over. I was dizzy all the time and just living on Taco Bell, man, you know, and just miserable. So
just going through a major move while like that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a journey. Well, that was the whole thing. You know, I had this realization that I wanted to sell my SSL, and I wanted to simplify my life.
Yeah,
like that was it. I was like, I'm done with this. You know, I'm done with my life being this blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
it's just too much. So, but you know, it takes what it takes, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm muting these vocals. We're down here on this kick. So here's this kick drum. And this is one of the most important things for setting up the mix that you're going to want to know is where to set this kick drum. Yeah, set this off of the chorus, which most likely he's hitting the hardest.
Yeah.
This is now the 4 kicks, which I've got a kick in, kick out, a kick sample track, which is another just bounce out from old days, and a kick trigger. And these are all going into this kick sub. And there it is. About 21.
Yeah, minus 20-ish.
Yeah. And for this, you don't necessarily look at short term because there's so much gaps in the sound. That's irrelevant. So it's about 21. So this is now, and this is after the, here's before the chain. So there's one above, one below. You know what I'll do? I'll take these off so we just don't see them for now. It'll make this easier to look at. So here is after the chain. Here is before the chain. This is kick only. No parallel compression, no subharmonic generator, and for the most part, nothing on the kick. Yeah, 23 and 21.
Oh, 2 dB.
Yeah, so there's 2 dB raised. Most of that, again, is the shred spread. That kind of seems to be the culprit with a little bit of gain, but it sounds cool, so we don't care. So that's it. So that's what you need to know, Will. You, at your loudest spot, you want that kick drum hitting here about minus 20, minus 21, minus 22. Yeah, 21. Yeah, minus 21.8. It's almost minus 22. And the reason being is that as things start to heat up down the line, you're going to need some space. So here is now the kick and snare crush, which is hitting this 1176. The other change that I've made here is starting to turn these outputs down. Like, I don't know, I had this affection with, like, when I hit a plug and I wanted to blow my head off. Yeah. But then it ends up being a problem down the line. Now on this kick crush, it doesn't matter as much because it's gained and you can hit it a little harder, but deck of potato. So we're not using any of the deck of potato. This is the punch 10. This is the only hardware in the rig. Here's without it.
Yeah, that adds a lot of low end.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's going straight to the punch 10.
Right,
oh,
right. This is punch 10. Is this is straight into the punch 10.
Okay.
So now with parallel compression, crush, whatever you want to call it, and then punch 10. This now the kick here is now.
Is there anything going on with the EQ before the punch 10?
14. Yeah, so there's about 6 dBs of gain there. So that's why you've got to be careful. The EQ here, just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, nothing really. The other thing I took off, I was using this Trans X Wide. I'm just over it. Homeboy Warren just uses this SPL. I have it, and this is really a cool plugin. The other thing he was doing that was cool was he was time adjusting the snare to the overs. Mm-hmm. So you know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
You would set this to samples. That's how I do it anyway, right? You go to samples, and then you'd come, let's say, to, let's go here, just for this. We would then go overs here. We'll pull it over by snare top. So now we've got this. and then we would go like this. Let's go out of grid mode, and we go like this, and we would see that the snare is about, let's just say for argument's sake, 151, let's say 100 and, I don't know where I was setting this to, but overs. Oh, though the overs are here, yeah. So I don't know. Let's just say that's the beginning of this transient. There's the, whatever, 136, 135. So what I did was I put a time adjuster at the top of, it's down at the bottom of the snare track, and this really helped. If you listen to this, check it out. Let's kill this kick.
And is that just the time differential between microphones?
Yeah, it's the difference between when the snare hits here, the mic is right there, and then the overs. And the snare and the over relationship is the most kind of dramatic. The kick's not so much because most of that gets cut out. All right, so let's go to just the verse where it's straight. So here's without time adjuster on the snare. Let me put the over back there so I don't lose track of where I'm at. So here it's between these two, between the snare here and the over. So I put the snare back 131 samples, ballpark. It's not exact science, but here it is bypassed. Yeah, it kind of makes it a little more masculine.
Yeah.
He does it with the toms, which I didn't do on this because the toms are just samples, because the tom tracks are a disaster. All right, so let's do this. Let's mess with these drums for a minute. Yeah, we're going to break this into some different videos, I guess. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. They blew up our city this weekend. Well,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. All right, here we go. So this is with no parallel compression. this almost like a pull tech where you could, let's say you want to boost that 60 area and really put that little ooh on there, then you can cut it up above like 40, 48, 40. So it's not just 60 off the rails, even though it's a bell still. The thing that I've done is, see, I've lowered the output. I already messed with this one because with this, listen to it. Hey, what's up, man? By doing this, you're going to be preserving a little bit better with the gain staging, and I'm not totally sold that you always have to have everything the same. I mean, I don't know. If it sounds better, pushed a little bit, and it hits the next thing a little harder, and it sounds cool, so be it. You know what I mean? Now, I've done nothing, I think, with the trigger track. Yeah, there's just a little... Yeah, there's nothing on the trigger track. Just cutting at 40. I'm just going to leave that for now. So we're back on the... This is the kick sub. These wave limiters are cool, man. They have a cool sound to them. All right, so we'll just stay. We're not going to do any 1176, I don't think. Let's mess with it for a second. This was another thing, like turning these outputs down. I don't know, man. I'm like I'm a bit of a more is better guy.
Yeah.
Right? Do you ever see the interview with Yngwie? He's like, people always say less is more. How can less be more? Less is less. More is more. Everybody's like, oh, what an ignoramus. It's like, well, I kind of used to think that way too. I still do sometimes. A little bit of low end with that. You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, too, that you may even want to put that before the channel. But, I'm just going to pass on that for now. We're just going to leave that off. So, anyway, there's our little kick. And we could, obviously, gate that more aggressively. But I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Now we're going to go to the snare. I wish that we would have fixed that ring. It's everywhere, all over this drum track. He knows, right? Things we do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one there, but well, we'll just leave it like that for now because we can kind of. This is I remember on this song I was just going a little more sample heavy because of that exact reason. That was kind of bumming me out. One thing that I have noticed that's weird about the gain staging down is hitting these compressors can be a little bit weird. Now this overtrack is pretty much minus. far as this, boom, boom, thank God for loud guitars.
Yeah.
Get me to the guitars. All right, so we're getting somewhere. It's starting to sound better. Oh, man. Let's just turn it all on. Drum verbs, tom verbs, and drum crush, drum grit, which we're not using. So this is the drums. This is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. All parallels is a group for when you first start a mix, but you got to make sure you ungroup that. You hear me?
Yeah.
Because then these are going to all work together, which we don't want, which that's perfect. Literally going to have nightmares of that sound. So anyway, that's kind of a start, and I don't like it now. I liked it better before. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now with this. Let me. Now that I've turned up the tracks going to the overs, I had to get the balance right. It's like, please get me to something that I can hear other than that. Getting these crushes. So this is a situation where, like, let's say we come here, we go to Blue Cat Audio Gain 3, put it on the same channel, and this we can now turn up. Because now is in everything. I think it's going to be in my coffee in the morning. Let's see if we can drown it out with guitars.
Yeah.
It's in there. It's not so bad. It's just, I don't know. And if I try to carve it all, well, first of all, I don't think you can even carve it all out.
Yeah.
But the more you carve it out, the weirder this will sound. So let's just fire this up. You're watching us get in the middle of this, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing with if the gain structure is too low, then the compressors are just not happening. So now with the trim knob, I was able to get this one up to a better. All right, so we're back. We kind of had a little bit of a thing going on there. We're not really sure what happened, but we're back.
Yeah.
It's a little glitch in the matrix. Okay. We've kind of been redoing so many things that this session is in sometimes a little bit of a different state of being than our template, and I'm trying to get them to balance, because once this song is done and we've got it all going and it's all beautiful, the template will be made, and then it's going to be like we've got like 3 records to mix, so it's going to be on and cracking. All right, so now we've got our AMS Neve here, our non-Lin set. Okay. Now we're looking at this little guitar thing, the little main, like ching ching ching. You know, a little eighth on it's nice, and the eighth is being fed into a reverb. Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah. Let's mute that. And then here's the AMS. Yeah, see, it's got like a real like the old school tile room sound, like. It's like rock the Casbah, shout if you don't like it. To the AMS is too weird. If you don't want weird, then be careful. So let's get a little something going on here. Who's ready to rock? I want to rock. Let's get this out of
rock all night and party all day.
A lot of that in the snare and the overs it's fine. It's rock and roll.
It's roll.
Oh! I hit delete and I deleted them. There you go. This is where I've been starting to do more stuff, which is just initially listen, get a fab filter, and see if there's like resonant frequencies. Can you believe I'm using terms like resonant frequencies?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, right?
Come a long way.
I've come a long way. Instead of just going, the schmutz.
Yeah.
Let's kill all the
schmutz on the schmagegi.
Schmutz on the schmagegi. Get rid of that schmutz. Let's get rid of all this schmutz. Yeah, let's get rid of all this fun goo. But now we're just listening to the raw tracks with... And this other guy, I've been watching his videos, and he's cool. He's into, like, putting, like, modeling amps on acoustics. I don't know. I don't ever know that I like the way that sounds. But anyway, here's the acoustic left and right. It's probably my Martin with a pair of 87. So that's one. He's saying also on the bottom, he's like, be careful because you don't want to like kill the fundamental. probably what I would do at this point because of the way I bounce this. I'll come here and I'll go duplicate it, boom, and then we'll just go like this, XV, and Apple XV, and we'll call this G pre. And it's going out the same thing, just so I can, for now, G pre dot. Oh, there's a dot. G pre. Well, there's 3 of them, so we'll call it 2, 3. I mean, this is like a 12-year-old thing. This was in North Hollywood, so I couldn't even tell you, you know? The vocal on there, it'll cover it up a little bit. Ah! A little more of that hall, give it some, a little more breath. Oh, it's one thing that is so cool. Are we still recording everything? Yeah. What's so different about mixing like this is that with the way this thing sounds now, I'm leaning towards this acoustic being more important. Like that. I didn't want that to come in there, right? Too mid-rangey now. Let me, because I haven't met these guitars now have been pulled in.
Yeah,
these are the original tracks. There's a million of them, but. Very martially. I would almost at this right now I would opt more for almost like putting a little bit more of a rectifier Uberschally kind of because it's very like right, it's all this. It's probably my Friedman, and like a JCM 900 or an 800 and maybe an orange, but it's got that like thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I think this is the original bounce that I had done years ago. I think this is just redundant, so we're gonna let's hide and make this inactive. Let's save where we're at. So this is like, and I see what we were doing. I mean, this is the spectrum. These purple guitars are more the low end, which I'm trying to get them kind of more where I like them. And then these are like, these are a little above it, you know? It almost sounds like a bass player playing guitar. It's pulse. We got the high stuff here. Here's where I'm getting like this thing where things start to get loud, right? So we're going to turn this down here, we're going to turn this down here, and then we're going to turn this down a little. It still has the feel of that acoustic guitar. Like this is so much cooler. This is so, I mean, I am enjoying this.
Yeah, this is cool.
I did do differently here. I've added to the parallel, the Brower kind of busting here. I added a V clean. This is just the track. Like, so okay. I was starting to kind of try experimenting with more like this, like letting a little bit more of the track instead of it just being all the color and
the love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it.
the other thing that's different. Okay, so check this out. And you guys would just have to really watch the other video, the other 9-hour video on our template. But these are throws that are now set to go here for the vocals so that we can ride them on the S1. But the difference here, I've changed this. These are going to come in default at minus 10.2, and they have a gain on them at plus 10. Reason being is that this is now passing through at normal unity gain as though they weren't even here, with the faders in the middle now for riding.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand? Because what I was having a problem with was I couldn't actually just get a vocal sound. Now we can just get a vocal sound, so we just use our throws here. So if I come here and I go all, these are all of our vocal, these are all the throws to the different vocals, but they just work as normal buses because they're coming out here to a fader that's set at minus 10 with a plus 10 gain. It just gives us more room. Yeah, exactly.
Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it.
It's not working. Like again, we've been changing these around, so there's a little confusion. And this is the old template. That's why this isn't working. So I switched concert, save. Please don't blow things up. Concert is not... Well, you know what? We can just make it from here. Concert is... Well, no, I don't want to do that, do I? It doesn't matter. Basically, I realized that I was... Realized that shoot. What was it set to? Oh, because it's mono. Concert hall. Let's do... Oh, yeah, Lugo concert. Oh, perfect. That'll work good. We'll go to Valhalla. Oh. Vlahalla. Vintage verb. Hey, look at that. And we can go 80s. Look at that. You want to get 80s? Yeah. Boom. There's your 80s. And then we go boom. And now we're set. And then we come here and we go 3940. It's really getting easy. It's going to be getting easy. I mean, this is just kind of... Look at the way I'm looking. Oh, I can't see anything. Concert's now like down here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Because... I realized I was feeding the concert a mono and I didn't want that. Concert. Okay. And now I'm going to come here. Make it all that color. And then we'll come to the effects returns and we'll modify. And we got to find concert. Oh, it's so weird how these are coming in all weird. Okay, add. And there we go. And there we go. And now concert here. We just got a solo safe. Now we get concert.
That I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give. That I held you. I told you everything's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The love
put a mag on this thing. It's like, it's such a strange thing. This was recorded to tape, and we just overcooked it. It's just like a little tight. Feeling a little tight. So what is that? That mag is that let's see if we can find it here. I mean, it's a universal audio. It's probably not called mag. It's in the template, so I never actually go get it. Let's see if it's a UAD mag. Probably. Yeah, there it is. There you go.
That I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never had to be afraid. Times that I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never had to be afraid. I've always been here. That'll never change. Times that I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give. Times that I held you. I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never had to be afraid. I've always been here. That'll never change. Times that I told you everything's okay. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love. Times that I held you, I told you. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. Your tears away, tears away, tears away, tears away, tears away, tears away. Tears away, tears away, tears away, tears away, tears away, tears. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away.
Okay, now let's kill that. Save. It's getting better, dog.
Oh yeah.
It's getting better.
Kind
Fab
of
filter.
funny. How I mean, this all started because you were doing like a final mix video for this.
Oh yeah, and I
it's
remember we put it up on YouTube
Yeah.
to listen to it, and
Yeah.
and then I went over to that photograph that,
Yeah.
or no, how you remind me that first Nickelback
Yeah.
hit, and when I as soon as I clicked over to it, I was like, oh, I went right into my panel of YouTube and I deleted
Yeah.
the video, and it started initially as like, why isn't it as loud? Because I couldn't figure out what level to set Camtasia to. Like it, I don't know. But it ended up becoming much more than that. It was like,
Okay.
wait a second, why is this thing breathing and mine feels so?
Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been
opposed to the EQ, which it just EQs the whole time, which means it's going to cut that frequency out all over the vocal.
Wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never.
I mean, you could do that with the Pro Q.
Yeah, I'm just using that one. Yeah, I haven't really mastered
The Make Dynamic.
Yeah, I guess make dynamic. Yeah, there you go. So you can go a little wider Q, let's say. Let's kill this. And then you grab this to do that, and then you come here and you've got your thrush.
Wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never had to be afraid. Wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Never. What love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. You won't believe it. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away.
You just got to lift this up a little bit. This darkens it a little bit more. Probably the Q, I don't know. It seems wider, even though it doesn't really necessarily look wider. It is wider.
Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away.
And seems to soften my voice. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
I think it's just the Q. I don't know really what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's
Love I can give you. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away. Love I can give you. Wash your tears away.
myself singing better on the
Yeah.
Pro Q. I can hear like this. I can hear the words better.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Let's for right now. Let's take this off. We'll leave this Pro Q on here.
Love I can give you.
That's nice. And again, I don't want to necessarily kill all of it because, you know, that's part of the sound. And, you know, in the world of guitars, they call it weird mids. Like quacky, they call it, like guitar, like Marshall's, like, you know. There's a cool video I saw yesterday of the new modern, I guess the new guitar tech for Angus Young. And he's doing his whole rig. It's pretty cool, man. All old Marshalls and mostly reissues actually on the road. They're 50-watt super leads,
Yeah.
and he's got 9 of them.
Yeah, I saw one. It was the old one though. It was from a few years
Yeah,
ago.
no, this new one is cool, man. And he said that when they made Back in Black, he didn't like the sound that he was getting. It was different. And he's like, well, what's different? He's like, well, live I use my wireless, so go get your wireless. And they did Back in Black with a wireless.
Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. Times that I held you, I told you. Times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away.
That's enough. Like, I could soften the bonky, but I kind of like it right now where it's at. I don't want to kill anymore. So, yeah, so there you go. So there's a little bit of that action, huh? It's crazy.
The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid.
I believe I hear that acoustic guitar. It's too loud. I love it. It's like, it sounds like the alarm. Like, it sounds like, I don't even know what this sounds like.
The times that I held you, I told you
Now I wish we had shaker and tambourine on it. We're going to do a totally redesign now.
Yeah.
We're going to do it with maracas.
the times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love.
Oh! Oh my God. What the? I just deleted the dang chorus there. It wasn't highlighted. That's so weird. What am I
That's
gonna
all
do?
Control Z.
I did. It like acted like I saved out of it. It's gone. That is so weird. All right, well, we'll just cut this over. I think it's probably, maybe, I don't know. Is it the same? I guess we'll find out, won't we? I have it on another playlist. I can pull it up. That's not the problem.
The times that I had.
They're different. That's all right. It doesn't matter. Okay, so So what we're going to do here is we're going to save before we blow anything else up. And we're going to just take this little basic sound and we're going to pull it across to all of them. And I've got a couple of different verses set up because the second verse and the third verse are very different from the first verse. The first verse is definitely drier. And this may not totally work for all of them, but it's just a start, right? Mm-hmm. We're just going to throw this across. That Mag EQ really helped out. I don't think I did anything with the limiter.
Yeah, it really did.
You know, it gave it a little space.
Gave it a little more like kind of clarity.
And we haven't messed with anything, the de-esser or the I have a Pultec at the end, which we can use or not use. I'm boosting a little 10K. We'll just leave it where it's at. Let's make sure it's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same. That's fine. Okay. Let's mess with this for a minute. Who's having fun? We're still recording. Hey, look at that.
He got over you. He got over you now.
Hear that noise on that guitar track? It's killing me, man. What the heck?
He got over you.
Very weird to open old sessions, you know? Like this is 12 years ago.
He got over you. He got over you now. He got over you.
One thing that I do a lot when I mix, and I really gotta stop doing, is I sing along. I sing along with the track, or I'm playing air drums, or I'm shredding solos. I'm shredding.
He got over you. He got over you. He got over you now. I know when you know that things had to change. When the darkness surrounds you, taking all your hope away. He got over you. He got over you now. I know when you know. I know when you know that things. I know when you know that things had to change. When the darkness surrounds you, taking.
It's one thing that Michael Brower talked about. One of my favorite songs is "Stop This Train" off of Continuum, the John Mayer tune, and we were kind of talking about that song, and also like I think the first verse in "Fix You" by Coldplay. It's like where the vocals like kind of almost too big, kind of too dry, and how do you get it to work? And he talked about like when you want that vocal out in front, and like for pop music, kind of like too far out front. Like it's a little more out front than you would want, but it's where it needs to sit. You utilize short delays and small rooms to tie it. He talked about tying it back to the song. You don't want to necessarily hear them.
I know when you
fired up below that AMS.
I know when you
kind of almost is like a funky doubler at that stage. Like that's ridiculously loud, but I've got a little bit of the room on there. We'll put a little room on there. A little bit of slap and a little bit of this AMS. And that's what he talked about. Not trying to accomplish it with one thing, just like with compressors. He's like, don't try to accomplish everything all the time with just one big thing. Like, you know, subtle.
I know when you know. I know when you know that things had to change. I know when you know that.
In a situation like this, I probably would be listening to some references, but I don't want to put commercial music on here, and I don't want to deal with cutting it out of the movie, the video. So I would be listening to like "Stop That Train" or "Stop This Train" by John Mayer, or whatever, "Fix You," or even the beginning of like the Boulevard of Broken Dreams or Amaryllis or something like that, where the vocal's just big and right there. Kelly Clarkson, "Since You've Been Gone."
I know when you know that things had to change. When the Darkness surrounds you, taking all your hope away.
Right, so we can go a little dreamier on this pre-chorus, right? Little split harmonizer. Give it like a spacey thing, right? Maybe a touch of that concert hall too. Get like put it in the back. Maybe take a little bit of mid-range out of this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of like kind of this area. Like this could be a little thinner almost, you know, because it's not as much about character. It's more of a sonic thing, right? Get all your hope away. 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 You see what I'm saying? Like we're getting better.
Yeah.
This is getting better. I messed with this a little bit. Let me just fire up where I'm at. I don't think I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put that on there. I like this massive passive sometimes on the backups. Yeah, a little of that action. Another de-esser. How many times can you de-ess it? None of your beeswax. All I want. My studio, I can de-ess all I want. I'm going to de-ess I want to de-ess the click track.
Yeah.
Get all your hope away. Get all your hope away.
Right, so remember, things can sound further in a distance when they're a little darker. So using a little concert hall, little quarter, put a little of that split palm on there. Definitely, a long delay. Right, this one's a little off because I've got it going to this crush. Get all your hope away. Get all your hope away. I've been low. It's like I kind of almost want my lead vocal lower volume. Like I want it to be a little bit more. So if I turn this down, turn this up. Get all your hope away. Get all your hope away. Get all your hope away. I've been lonely too. bass is too gurky. Galurky. Galurky. It's like duck, 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 duck. Like the way he's playing it over there. Let's just back it off a little bit. Just a touch. A touch too much.
I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now.
I've been putting more overdrive on bass, and sometimes I just like it to sound like a bass. Like this is one of those times.
I've been lonely too. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Lion, the times that I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Lion, lion, the times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Can't get over you. I can't get over you now. The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here,
That's pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Learning a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think what I'm going to do is one thing I've been doing too is taking heat off all those vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. Too much.
Yeah. I think especially on this track.
Yeah, because these vocals are a little heated. Yeah. Yeah. Sounding good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't messed with everything, but we got a little something going on. Anyway.
He got over you. He got over you. He got over you now. I know when you know that things had to change when the darkness surrounds you.
So yeah, it's like I want to do this real dry thing in the beginning, but it feels too dry. Maybe it's got too much meat on it. I don't know. Just give it a touch. Let me try this.
He got over you. He got over you. He got over you now. I know when you know that things had to change when the darkness surrounds you, taking all your hope away. I've been lonely too. I couldn't fall for you till now. Lion, lion. The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've lion, lion. The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Lion, lion. The times that I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here, that'll never change. Can't get over you. I can't
I know is if I was driving down the street and this song came on the radio, I'd be like, "Dang, who is that?" That's it. I think it sounds cool, right? I mean, it's just like a. It's
me.
It's yeah. It's like I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
Believe it, never had to be afraid. I've always been here. That'll never change.
All right. Save. Wow, huh? We're getting somewhere. So, this is the game plan. I want to revisit this tomorrow. I really want to make sure that I like this static mix before we do any automation, any vocal riding. There's a little. I've got to mess with a little bit with the vocal rider. I think it's too severe in spots because it feels like I can hear a little of that. But we'll fix it and take it out to the truck, rock it, come in, make some fixes, and then I think I'm going to send it out to my buddy Harold LaRue and have him master it.
Okay.
And then when it comes back and it sounds totally awesome, we'll do a little like official video, which will be a studio video of the song. And you guys have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you see all the little, you see the good things in the record, and there's, idiosyncrasies. There's a little noise in the guitars. There's a, but see, once everything's rocking, you don't hear the, right? Where's the,
That I held you, I told you.
There's no, anymore, so that solves some problems. Just a little bit of noise here and there. There's a few things. The tracking the vocal to tape, I think we just hit it a little hard. I don't know. I just don't really totally dig the whole thing about that, but it's neither here nor there. Where would it be then? Well, this is very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
This
is cool.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's weird to be this deep into a mix and it sounds so relaxed. And to hear all that acoustic guitar, because that kind of stuff gets killed when you overcook these mixes. They just get killed. I mean, the acoustic's so loud. Listen to this.
That I held you, I told you everything's okay.
And
so much more detail.
Yeah, and I keep turning it down.
Yeah.
I kind of like it up.
Yeah.
It's got like almost an REM thing.
That I held you, I told you everything's okay. The love I can give you will wash your tears away. You won't believe it, never had to be afraid.
Yeah. Vocal has a little bit of distortion on the recording, so there's nothing we can really do about that. But all right, well, let's do this. We're gonna make this. This is gonna be a long video. I know I said in the last one, we're not going to make long videos, I promise you. I lied. We're making another long one. But this is more where we're at. There's us and us. Yeah, I don't know how long this thing is. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes because it's an hour and 20. We already did an hour. I'm putting it up. You guys can enjoy it or you can not. I think it's cool. I watched the Warren Hewitt one almost 7 hours, and we lost all communication in the middle of it. I was just getting to the meaty part, and obviously somebody blew up downtown Nashville, so we're AT&T. We lost internet, phone, everything. Just studio was down. I had to figure out how to get my perpetual Pro Tools license off of the interwebs, off the cloud and onto my iLock, which I did, but it took a couple of days to get it all going. This is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is really exciting.
It's so much better. It is really exciting. Yeah, so there you go, man. So this is going to be, I don't know what we're going to call this, a cacophony of faders. Yeah. Want to call it that? No, kind of weird.
What's a cacophony?
I don't know. I think it's a bunch.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Cacophony. Is that, wait a second. What is that even a word?
I don't know what that means.
I don't want that on. Why does everything, Apple will not stay signed in anymore? What happened? I've got too many things with Apple IDs. I don't even know how cacophony, how would you even spell that? Oh, there you go. Cacophony. A harsh, discorded mixture of sounds. Dude! Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. That's perfect.
Cacophony.
A cacophony. Well, yeah, it's not. We're trying not to be harsh anymore. Yeah, right. Jason Becker's band. He's still alive. That dude, man, what a hellacious experience that guy went through. Seems like the nicest dude. I think I talked to him on the phone about 20 years ago when he first got sick. I got his number 25 years ago. And I said, hey, I just want to tell you, hang in there. And I remember him being nice to me.
Yeah.
A long time. This must have been like the 90s. He was already sick, though. Anyway.
Like and subscribe.
Just when you thought there was only 2 of us, now there's 4 of us.